ECU?
R.
Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
Welcome in. It is Wednesday, middle of the week. A busy day ahead. ECU athletics. Baseball back in action inside Clark LeClaire Stadium. Men's basketball hosting Wichita State. And also softball ongoing on this Wednesday. So we got a lot to get into. We got to recap the ECU baseball loss last night. We already have a comment less than a minute into the show. Quote, "It's time to start worrying," from Lane Smith. So that's where we are 4 games into the baseball season. ECU women really just cruised to a victory over FAU, although Kim McNeil was not thrilled with the second half performance. We'll get into that. Huge showdown this Saturday in Minges against Rice, which is 22-3, unbeaten in the league. We'll talk about that. And then we'll discuss also the implications of tonight's basketball game against Wichita State. And then maybe take a look around what's going on in the Olympics and hockey, also college basketball as a whole on today's program. We've got James Giglio. He's back in studio, our usual Wednesday guest. James, Hoist the Colors intern, student at ECU. He was on the call for the game last night, women's basketball. Welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having me back. It's Wednesday. It's going to be a good day. I'm excited for the women's game. It's coming on Saturday. It should be a big one.
Yeah.
Against Rice.
We'll talk about it. This may be the biggest call of your career this coming Saturday.
Against Rice. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? James Giglio on the hot seat on Saturday. Philip Pilkington, he's back in the 94.3 The Game studios. Looks a little dark in there, Philip. You missing some lights or something, man? What's going on? There you go. Brighten up your day a little bit.
I know.
I don't think that did do anything.
It brightened it up a little.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You know, I just walk in, whatever lights Michael has turned on, I just kind of leave them. I make sure you guys look good, and I don't really check to see how I look, to be honest. So Steven's the star of the show. At the end of the day, James and I are just here for to give Steven's voice a rest.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really feeling it today.
I do want to know we're all wearing purple. I just want to say that.
We are.
We're all wearing
different shades,
kind
maybe?
of different shades of purple.
I would go on a limb and say James and I's shades probably really close. It's just like clearly the difference in the cameras, I think.
It just like looks cool. Not cool, but on camera looks kind of
You've
cool.
got the studio lighting. I've got just like normal overhead lights. I think that's the difference.
Well, guys, I'm going to need your pick-me-up today because I don't know. I don't know if it's watching ECU baseball and Flow Sports last night sucked the energy out of me, as you guys call it, ESPN Bulgaria.
That's, me and Patrick. Invented by Patrick, but yes.
First off, Chris Haymeyer was on the call, did a great job, friend of many around here, but I'm just going to go and get this rant off my chest. This has nothing to do with the game, and you guys may not even know what I'm talking about because Philip was producing the radio. He could not see most of the game. You were calling the women's game, so you have a valid excuse. Okay, if you have 3 instant replay reviews and you can't tell what the call is because the cameras are so grainy and so crappy, it may be time to invest in some new equipment or don't broadcast the game at all. There were 3 separate reviews where either A, the angle was off, like they had a view of second base on a stolen base attempt from the back angle where you could not even see the runner because it was cut off from half the screen. There were multiple plays at first base where the video is so crappy you can't even tell if his foot is on the bag, when his foot is on the bag, when the ball is in the glove. What's the point of having replay if your cameras can't even tell what's going on? Flow Sports, Campbell, whoever's fault it is, needs to fix it. It's garbage. It's time to stop playing this game. I'm just going to say it. It's time for ECU to quit playing at Campbell. And maybe I'm being a sore loser because ECU has lost every game against Campbell, dating back to the 2022 season. And yes, it's on the team, but I think it's time to stop playing this game. I said it yesterday. I said it on the Bucks on the Pond podcast, and I'm doubling down, tripling down. I'm done. I'm done with Bowie's Creek. I'm done with Jim Perry Stadium. Get me away from Campbell.
I love it.
Stephen
Rant.
That was my main takeaway from the game was that Campbell is our kryptonite.
I mean, I wrote in my article, Campbell curse lives on.
Yeah.
Like, it really is the Campbell curse in baseball now. 6 straight one-run losses, too, man. Not even losing, 1 run, like in the most painful fashion.
It looked like it was almost the exact same game at Bowie's Creek as last year with the errors and no offense. And we had good pitching, but pitching doesn't put up runs. So, I mean, maybe it's just something in the water down there in middle of nowhere, Bowie's Creek.
Speaking of baseball, I just want to say they are doing the safety dance right now at the Canada-Czech hockey game.
Oh, nice.
They are playing their tribute to ECU baseball and pulling for the Pirates tonight against Northern Illinois. Just saying.
Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe
I think it's a great sign.
Fun safety dance instead of kind of a dull, just waiting for something to happen in Clark LeClair Stadium safety dance. All right, actual baseball talk. Enough of me laying into Bowie's Creek. Look, Campbell's a great institution. I got a lot of friends there. It's nothing against Campbell. I'm just tired of talking about this game every year in this exact scenario. I really am.
Yeah, deja vu. It was literally the exact same game as last year.
It really is, man. It's driving me crazy. All right, the game itself. We got some great comments here. We'll get into those in a minute. ECU loses 2-1, and I mean it's basically just like it sounds. The Pirates gave up 2 unearned runs. They didn't hit the ball. They didn't play good defense. I think they hit the ball at the infield with authority maybe twice the entire game. The pitching was great. Nick Moran was great. Brett Antolik was good after the leadoff double. Unfortunately, his own pickoff error led to the runner getting to third, and then we had a pass ball that allowed a run to score, which was the first unearned run. He was scheduled to go 1 inning. He did. He was 94-95. Good to see that. He's going to be a premium arm. Nick Moran looked good. Joe Webb still not 100%, but gave ECU a chance. Again, his run was also unearned because he bobbled a bunt. You also had Nick Parham drop a ball on a feed from Austin Irby in that inning, along with 2 walks. That was, you give up an unearned run that inning as well. Sean Jenkins was phenomenal, but at the end of the day, defense, hitting lets you down. 6 hits for ECU. Not much impacting the baseball. Former Pirate pitcher Mason Smith, just like he did last year, carves up the Pirates. Then Jet Music comes in.
I saw Jet Music.
Freaking Jet Music, man. Jet Music comes in, shoves the door.
All-time name, by the way.
Yeah, it really is. It closes the door, and ECU loses 2-1, and Pirates are 1-3. Thoughts?
I mean, you can go on and on about the Campbell kryptonite as much as you want, but, I mean, 6 hits, 1 run, and, I mean,
in really, a midweek game.
Midweek game. The big issue is, though, the 4 errors. I mean, 4 errors is unacceptable at really any level of baseball. I'm not really saying anything new. I know Cliff knows it. I know the guys in the locker room know it, but 4 errors is not going to beat, the D.H. Connolly team down the road. It's not going to beat anybody let alone college baseball. So it's obviously a long season. It's a young season. So there's a lot of time to adjust and fix these mistakes. And I know we got NIU tonight, but I'm not trying to look ahead, but I'm excited for the Carolina series. Still, even though we're 1-3 and we could get swept, I'm still excited for the Carolina series.
I just feel like this game could have been worse. There was the 1 inning where you had the guy get caught stealing, and then the 2-out double happens, but if he doesn't get caught stealing, a run scores there. And I think that might have been the same inning. There was a pickoff later in the inning.
And by the way, he was definitely safe at second. You just couldn't tell on the crappy cameras. So that one actually played ECU's favor.
Yeah. I mean, first off, ECU softball cameras are better. Just throwing that out there. But, yeah, so that's the thing. Is like the defense, as bad as it was, like the pickoff move and the caught stealing by Kalinich, like saved some runs. Like this felt like this game should have been like 3-1 or 4-1. Like I'm okay losing a game 2-1 if it's just like, man, a guy hits a hard liner and then you just catch too much white and a dude hits a no-doubter. Like you can live with that. Well, you can't live only scoring 1 run, but from a defensive standpoint, like, hey man, pitcher made 1 mistake, caught too much white, like, is what it is. You let up 2 runs in a baseball game. It's how you let up the 2 runs and the fact that you couldn't put any hits together. I mean, it just, I don't know. I mean, can we talk about Sean Jenkins' 5 consecutive batters via the punch out? I mean,
he looks phenomenal.
He does. And I was talking to Coach O and Dylan Johnson during one of the breaks. Like, man, when Sean got on the bus, it's clear, like, he's been in the weight room. Like, he looked fine last year, but like, that's a grown man now. Like and I haven't seen Sean up close this year, but I guess he's just bigger, stronger.
He's still only 18.
Oh, still only 18.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a freshman. Doesn't have the baby face anymore. Like, I'm excited for Sean Jenkins, man.
Well, that's the thing is I said it Monday, I'm bullish on this pitching staff. And like James, you know baseball, when you can pitch, you always have a chance. I mean, so I'm just going to continue to hold out hope that they're going to find a way to get clutch hitting and at some point find somebody who can play shortstop and just not make errors. I mean, last night 2 of the errors were on the pitchers for defensive purposes, a pickoff error and then a drop bunt. So, maybe it's just a case of guys pressing in the field or feeling that pressure. But I'm just going to continue to hold out hope that the pitching stays near here and the rest figures it out, and it still can be a good baseball team, which is why I am not pushing the panic button, even though maybe some in the chat are.
Yeah, we can't push the panic button. This is almost exactly the same start I feel like we had last year, right? A slow opening weekend, and then, a road loss to Campbell, and then, we got swept by UNC. So it does feel like exactly like last year. And last year they made the tournament, but to that, they did have to go and win the conference tournament to make the tournament. That's just not sustainable every year. With the pitching, obviously the pitching has been great. And if you told me before the season that the pitching would look as good as it does right now and Ethan Norby had as bad of a game as he did on Friday, I'd be like, wow, okay, that's a great news. But, yeah, I think the bats will pick up. The season's it just started, guys. It's 1-4. It's a long baseball season. And these issues we're talking about now, I don't think we're going to be talking about in late April and May.
The good news of playing every day, ECU and IU today, is you have a chance to get a win. The bad news is it can snowball in baseball quickly, so it's just one of those things. Like, ultimately, it's up to the team. They got to go out and play today and win against a team they should beat. If they do that, then you have some momentum going in Friday. And if you win Friday at home, you're 3-3 and everybody's back on board. So, like, it's kind of in the team's hand at this point. Now, it could go the opposite way. You could be 2-6 by the end of the week, and I still don't think it necessarily be time to panic, but you're facing that uphill battle that you're facing last year. So that's really what you're trying to avoid. All right, Lane Smith in the chat says, let's read some comments here. It's time to start worrying. He says this team is probably starting 1-7. Time to cancel the Campbell games. So, hey, Lane's with me on that one. We turn into prime ECU basketball when we play them. John Moody says, 'tis the season. Brian Wallace says, if we lose today, I'm going to start panicking.
That's fair enough.
If we lose today, I'll be like, okay, there's something going on.
Lane, come on. With this 1-7 crap, you're just saying it because we're talking about the losses. We know if we were hanging out at your place right now, you'd be talking about how we're going to beat NIU by 12. So
I think if they win today, or if they lose today, then I think it's fine to hit the panic button a little bit.
It's not going to be good. Ryan Cole says the poor start of the weekend just made last night's loss feel that much worse. Just feels so odd to see a CG coach team with this many errors. I thought last season was just an anomaly, but it feels like it has just gotten worse. John Moody says I get tired of hearing this early because you're digging a hole if you want to host. If you don't want to host, sure, it's early then. I mean, I think that's fair.
Swept by Bryant. That's all I'm going to say.
But that also took a 23-game win streak?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, those are just not sustainable, that, and then winning the conference.
But here's the thing, going 1-2 against Xavier is still a heck of a lot better than getting swept. You don't need that 22-game win streak when you go 1-2 against Xavier like you do when you get swept by Bryant.
By the way, did y'all see what Xavier did last night?
They lose.
They lost.
They were down 7-1. They
Where'd
fought
they play?
hard back and made it 9-7. They played
Louisville.
with some heart, and then they ran out of pitching.
That long bus ride.
Yeah.
Now they get Arkansas. We'll find out more.
Yeah.
I was not impressed by the pitching depth, so I'm not surprised they get run. Didn't expect them to go up 27 to Louisville.
7 is a lot in any baseball game.
Yeah.
There were a lot of games last night,
Yeah.
dude. Like Texas Tech scored 21. Somebody else scored a high number. Then over the weekend, LaSalle scored 27.
I did see that. A 27 is just such a high number.
27-10, baby. It's like Super Bowl 12 all over again.
Yeah.
Johnny Stats is in the chat. He says only one of the last 6 games against Campbell have been played in Greenville. This is another reason why I need to cancel the freaking series.
They come here, though, this year, right?
They're supposed to, but that
Keeps getting rained out.
gets rained out.
Definitely got
canceled.
rained out last year, right?
Yeah.
Mother Nature's a bad person.
Or
Is it
they
not-
blame RPI. and
Is it not
cancel
the same thing with Duke, though? I feel like we never beat Duke, and we played them. I know we played them twice, but I've never seen us beat Duke in my time here.
Duke, ECU actually owned Duke for years in
Yeah.
baseball. It was like a 19-game winning streak until a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so like when I was
basically
in
since
school,
you got to school.
when I was
I've
in
never
school,
seen
James,
Duke.
ECU used to almost always beat Duke. I mean, I remember one game we we threw like a 2-hitter and it was almost a shutout, and then the dude hit like a nuke in the top of the ninth, and it ended up being like 7-1 or something. and that was like the regular for ECU Duke.
Yeah.
Johnny Stats also says the Pirates have only committed 4 errors in a game 3 times in the last 420 games. 2 of them have happened in the last 3 games. I mean, that kind of says it all, right?
Johnny, I got a question, and I mean this is genuinely. There's nowhere that this is posted. You had to go back and go through 420 games.
Every box.
Are you a vampire? And I don't mean that like you just not sleep, because you would have had to have actually gone back and clicked through that many games. It's not like MLB where I'm sure there's some stat thing where it's like, when's the last time this team committed 5 errors in a game? And it gives you all the lists. Like, you had to go through all those. Credit to you, Johnny Stats, but I'm starting to remember Johnny Stats as a vampire.
Final thing here on baseball before Johnny responds. You know, we get multiple comments here about the shortstop. Casey Ramirez says, who are we trying next? Shortstop, Steven, Phillip, or James? And then Lane says, how does ECU not have a shortstop? This has been somebody tweeted at us last night, Bucks on the Pond. They were like, when is the shortstop situation going to be addressed? Look, we talked about shortstop for years now. It's been a reason why ECU has not, in my opinion, made it to Omaha. Look, a great shortstop who can hit and field is hard to find, but ECU has had really below, Omaha caliber shortstops almost all of Cliff Godwin's tenure. Zach Agnos being one of the better ones when he was forced to move over, hitting and defense. And this year, guys, looks like we may see more of the same, although, it's fair to point out Matt Lashley probably would have been the starting shortstop. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out. But even still, he was a defensive first junior college ad. So I just think shortstop's going to continue to be a problem. It's my biggest concern going into the year, and it remains my biggest concern, even more than I thought after 4 games.
Who was between Agnos and Shaq?
I think it was straight from Agnos to Shaq.
Straight from Agnos to Shaq, and then last year, and then it was Brainy. Or Shaq is Brainy, yeah. So then who was it last year? Trammell for a little while.
Last year was Boucher. Remember the whole year?
Yeah. Gosh, who was before Agnos?
Giles.
TB. Oh yeah, it was Ryder.
It's just been
and then it was Turner Brown. So like Turner was your last because Zach played third most of the time.
Yes.
He didn't move till short till the end.
Yes, it is. So it's been kind of after Turner Brown, they have not found a great shortstop. And maybe you try, maybe you keep running Parham out there. Maybe you try Hakame next. Maybe you try Burris, or you just hope to get Lashley back healthy. But that's a problem.
Were either one of you guys good shortstops to answer the question?
I played middle infield growing up, but
there you go.
I might can go out there and make 4 errors.
I mean, I could go out and make 4 errors. I could go out and make 3 errors. So I think it'd be better than.
Hey, I played first base and wide receiver, man. They never let me throw. So the fielding, yes. My worry is the throwing for me.
And it's like Cliff said. I mean, look, they're not out there trying to make errors. We're not trying to rag on them. But at the end of the day, if you can't play shortstop and you can't catch in major baseball, whether it's Division I, pro, you don't have much of a chance. You just got to get better at those positions, and that's a concern for me 4 games in. So that's where it stands, and we'll see if it starts to get better today with the Pirates. They host Northern Illinois, 4 o'clock first pitch, Clark LeClaire. We'll see you there or on the Plus or on 94.3 The Game. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. Pirate basketball going for 3 wins in a row. Is it going to happen? Wichita State tonight. We'll tell you about that. Also dive into the women's basketball team, which continues to roll. They have 20 wins now on the season and a huge game against Rice this Saturday. We'll discuss that and more. This is Hoist the Colors.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors.
Matey!
Back to the show with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back in. Second segment here, comment section popping off for some baseball discussion. And appreciate everybody's take. We've got, by the way, Johnny Stats said I just went game-by-game stats on the box score one season at a time, and it took 5 minutes, which I did verify that is an option. So Johnny Stats is smarter than all of us.
Yeah, I thought you had to click on each game individually, open the box score. I didn't realize it was
Johnny Stats, not a vampire.
Breaking.
That is the voice of James Giglio, Philip Pilkington alongside. Charles says Cliff Godwin is turning into Dabo and refusing to adjust to the NIL era, trying to hold on to the past, now or never. They brought in like 10 transfers this offseason.
This year they fixed everything.
Yeah, they paid a bunch of players, so like I don't agree with that statement.
Yeah, you can't use that argument anymore.
Did it take him a year longer than everybody else? Yes. Is it Dabo-esque? No. And he even like joked about that exact point during media day. Like, nah, I mean,
there's plenty of transfer. I mean, Van Kempen, Hakame. I could go down the list. Most of the relievers, Marley, Paxton. They brought in the JUCO kid, Vo Gailey. I mean, there's Luke Payne's a transfer. Sacon's a transfer. I mean, they brought in like 10 to 12 significant transfers this offseason. They paid Ethan Norby a significant amount of money to bring him back. They paid Austin Irby a significant amount of money to bring him back. So I think that argument is null and void.
Yeah, you can't use that anymore.
Yeah.
You can say that about Shaka Smart and Marquette and men's basketball.
Yes, you can. Wow, what a fall from grace.
Hold that thought, because we're going to discuss college hoops in segment 3, and I have no idea what's going on with Marquette basketball, so I'm genuinely curious what's happening.
Did Marquette doesn't know what's going on with Marquette basketball?
Is Shaka Smart, is he going to be fired?
Last year they were top 10 in the country, so I think no.
He's
but
probably
if
got one more.
Yeah. Shaka's never been fired in his life, I don't think.
No.
Was he not fired from Texas?
I think he just left, right?
I don't
I don't know. We'll look it up.
See what the Google
All right.
says.
ECU basketball, speaking of men's hoops, the Pirates have quietly won 2 in a row.
3 of 4.
3 of 4. Don't let them get hot. They're charging up the standings. Still on the outside looking into the conference tournament. They host Wichita State tonight. Good double header opportunity. Baseball at 4, basketball at 7. Softball is also playing UNCW as well. I'm taking my 4-year-old son. At least the plan is to take him to both. We'll see how that goes. So if you see me out and about, say what's up. You'll be on press row tonight.
Basketball.
For hoops. What are you expecting? Wichita State is 16-10. They're 8-5 in the league. They are tied for second place, so they've got a lot to play for because with this new format now, if you finish top 2 seed in the conference, you get an automatic bye to the semis. So I expect them to be ready to go. They really handled ECU the first meeting in Wichita. It was never close. What are you expecting tonight?
Yeah, like you said, Wichita's got a lot to play for, not just because it's against ECU, but they have the top of the conference to play for a conference regular season championship. They're coming off a big win versus Tulsa, who was in that top, has really been at the top of the American all year. What I'm expecting tonight, ECU to fight. I mean, they're conference. They want to make the conference tournament. Obviously, I don't know if it's what they have to. They obviously, I think they have to win out for it to happen. But it's going to be a tough one tonight because, like you said, Wichita handled them, and but ECU's getting hot. I mean, 3 of 4, nothing to shy away from. But I think Wichita State will win. I don't know the line, but I'm going to predict a Wichita State win by, say, 9.
Well, the line's 8.5, so you're pretty good. The line is at 8.5.
I had no idea. That was a complete guess.
In favor of the Shockers. Now, ECU has beaten FAU, UTSA, and Rice in the stretch, which are 3 of the worst teams in the league. FAU, by the way.
Fall from grace as well.
Yeah, L6 in the streak column. They've lost 6 in a row. ECU broke them. And so, look, you look at the standings. The teams ECU have beaten are right around them in the standings. So I'm not going to make it out to be like they're on some magical run. But at the end of the day, James, you got to win college basketball games to win college basketball games and make a move. And this would be, if they could pull this one off tonight, we were going through the scenarios earlier, which I don't think it's an unwinnable game.
No, it's not an unwinnable game by any means, no.
This would be like I could actually buy into they're getting much better argument.
No, I could not say that. Even if they won tonight by 15, I could say they're getting better. But
much might be much better. I mean, they're still getting better. I mean, like James, there was a time we were talking about like 2 conference wins.
Yes.
How many do they have right now? 3 or 4?
4. And you can still have 6 games left. I mean, the point is like before Dimitri Gardner was added to this roster.
Dimitri Gardner has been an excellent addition, by the way.
We were legit worried about, competently staying in games. This team is staying in games regularly.
No,
I'm not by any means trying to say it's good. They are just much better than they were going into conference play.
I don't know if I would go much, but
so better.
I would say they've been better. Yes. Better.
What I guess the better way to phrase it: if they win tonight, I'll believe they can actually make the conference tournament.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the schedule.
UTSA one more time.
They're going to be a dog in every game except for UTSA. Wichita State at Charlotte. I know they just lost to UTSA, but
Charlotte lost to UTSA?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to play better when the Pirates roll in town.
Yeah.
Memphis, Tulsa at UAB. That's a tough schedule to close it. So, this is one, if you want to prove that you're actually making legitimate steps forward, you win tonight against a Wichita State team that has a lot to play for, and I can buy in a little bit more too. All right, this team, they can make the conference tournament, and they actually might can win a game because it's like this silly format of 12 versus 9, 10 versus 11 or something like that. Or I guess it would be 10 versus 7, 8 versus 9 in the Americans' case. But I still want to see them do it against a competent team, and Wichita State is that. I'm with you guys on Dimitri Gardner. His addition has been critical. It's just why didn't we add more guys like that in the offseason instead of Patty Darcy and some of these guys who aren't playing.
Yeah, like Perkovich or who's
now you've had injuries, but the injuries have allowed you to add Dimitri Gardner in many ways. Because if LeBeau and Woodard are playing, you probably don't add Gardner. So I feel like you should add 5 Gardners.
Gardner, Gardner is I don't even know. My ECU basketball knowledge is not top tier, but he might be the best shooter I've seen at my time here.
Right at this point. He's shooting 52% from 3 in conference games.
I can't think of anybody else. I'm if he's wide open, I'm like, okay, there's actual chance of going in. Yeah.
That's it. And one shooter, we've always said, hey, if this team just had one shooter, they'd be decent.
Last year, if they had 1 or 2, if they had Dimitri Gardner last year, this team actually could have maybe.
Could you imagine Gio starting at the 5 last year so that Walker could rightfully play the 4, and then
they would
Gardner?
Have been a good team.
Garner and Gio last year. This team, I think, actually might have won the conference tournament last year.
Yeah, you're at least winning 1 to 2 more conference games. You're not losing to Gardner Webb and whoever the hell else you lost to in out of conference play.
North Alabama.
Alabama.
Which actually ended up being a decent team, but still.
Dude. decent team in a crap league.
Yes. It's a decent team, though. Women's basketball, big win.
Big win.
And look, I know Kim McNeil was not happy with the second half, but I'm and she knows her team a lot better than I do, but I'm proud that ECU did not fall victim to the look-ahead spot. And maybe they did in the second half, but they won the game, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, they've rallied really well since that Wichita State disaster a couple weeks ago, and this is their 4th straight win since then. And I thought this could have been a potential look-ahead game. FAU is, not at the bottom of the conference; they're just middle of the pack. But ECU definitely overwhelmed them last night with their size and their full court press. I mean, they forced like 12 FAU turnovers in like the first 4 minutes of the game. So definitely want to see them break out the full court press versus Rice, but Rice is a different beast compared to FAU. And hopefully there's going to be a decent crowd there because Rice is undefeated in conference play. They've been top of the conference, pretty much the whole season. So it should be a good one.
It'll be ECU and Rice. So here's kind of an update on the picture. Rice is 13-0 in the league. They've won 18 games in a row. They're 23-3 overall. Now, they're still only 60 in the net, so they're probably not in that large territory. This is probably a one-bid league, and this is a rematch of last year's conference championship game, which Rice won to go to the NCAA tournament. This year, you've got Rice again at 13-0, ECU in second place at 12-2. Rice barely got past the good South Florida team last night to remain unbeaten. South Florida and North Texas are both 9-5, tied for third. Tulsa's also 8-5 in fifth. So this is, look, obviously you want to win the game, but I just want to see ECU show it belongs because realistically, you just want to be in those top 2 spots going into the conference tournament. That would put Rice and ECU on opposite sides of the bracket, and then you get an automatic bye to the semis. And so if you do that, you're one win away from probably rematching Rice for a conference championship and a trip to the NCAA tournament. So I just want to see ECU, whether they win or not, look like they belong and kind of prove to themselves they can play with Rice this Saturday, Philip.
Yeah, exactly. Being a dogfight, right? Have the media go into that game saying it's tough to beat a team twice in 1 year. Not the media going and going, well, they went into Benji's and won by 22 back just a month ago. Like, don't have them saying that, So, that's not for the sake of the media. That's for the sake of yourself, right? Just prove that you're to yourself that you can hang with this team, that, yes, this is the best team in the conference, but they're not miles ahead of you, and that they're going to have to be on their A game in order to beat you. And then all the pressure's on them, right? You just mentioned they haven't lost a game since 18 in a row, so probably late November, early December. But with that 60 net ranking, it's going to come down to them. It's going to come down to one game for them. And yes, it's going to come down to one game for East Carolina too, but the difference is East Carolina, the net's the net. And the record's good, but it's not automatic tournament good, whereas Rice feels like, hey, we've done everything we can. We can't help we play crappy teams. So they feel like they should be in this thing, but it's going to come down to one game and have the pressure on them in said one game. But if they go out there and they curb stomp you on Saturday, is there really going to be much pressure on them? I don't know.
UCF was their last loss in Puerto Rico on November 28th.
That was Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. They also lost at Princeton and at South Dakota State to open the season. So
wow,
that is their 3 losses have come away from home. And I am curious to see what the crowd looks like. James, you'll be there on the call Saturday. The problem is you've got the Durham baseball game against UNC at 2, which will take some crowd away. But I'm curious for people who are frustrated with baseball. Do those people show up at basketball on Saturday?
I was actually just about to say that. If ECU loses, baseball loses tonight against NIU, and then they lose Friday versus UNC, they're sitting at 1-6 or 1-5, whatever it would be.
Not that we want baseball to lose.
No, obviously not that you want baseball to lose, but you might see some of those folks that were planning on going to Durham in Minji's Coliseum at 1 p.m. Saturday.
And look, is the game in Durham even on TV anywhere?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was on TV. Was it on TV last year?
I think because the whole minor league thing, it's just hard.
Yeah. So what you do is you go to women's basketball, and if you're that inclined to listen to baseball, which is fine, you download the IBX Media app, you bring you some earbuds, you can be in tune with baseball, and you watch the women's basketball game.
I mean, that really is it. I mean, because if you cannot make it to Durham, according to ECU Pirate's schedule, there is no TV. It is 94.3 the game.
So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of tuning into another game while you're at one. I'll be honest. I mean, James, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but I think you're like me. I mean, how many times are we on Media Row and, we've got a second screen pulled up and we're just casually keeping up with another game?
No. Wait, what?
No, I'm saying, like, how often are you up on Media Row and we're working the ECU game? We're focused on the ECU game, but you still got, like, another ECU sporting event pulled up or another. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I did. I was keeping track of the ECU Campbell baseball game.
Yeah, that's my
But I
point.
had, like, stat broadcast stuff. I wasn't watching it, though.
Yeah, but I was, like, producing the baseball game and I was watching women's basketball last night. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, like, hey, put earbuds in and you can keep track of baseball while you're at women's basketball.
There's many times I'm in the ECU press box watching the Mariners play on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's completely fair. So, or watching ECU basketball or watching the NFL draft or watching – a lot of you guys are up there watching NASCAR on a Sunday,
By a lot of you guys, you mean me and Chance Scott.
You and Chance, yep.
Formerly CJ when he was still here.
Yep. All right, we got to get a break in, run a little behind, but we'll talk college hoops next, maybe some Olympics as well. This is Hoist the Colors on Wednesday.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Pirates played here. This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Steve and Igo. On 94.3 The Game.
Third segment here, Hoist the Colors. We've got James Giglio hanging out. We've got Philip Pilkington producing. We haven't checked in on college basketball as a whole in a while. It was a pretty fun night Tuesday in hoops. #1 Michigan went to Purdue, who is ranked 7th in the country and won 91-80. You had Nebraska, #9, lose at Iowa 57-52. You also had Arizona State upset Texas Tech NC State just walloped North Carolina. Is Caleb Wilson still out? You were telling me Vessar was also out, James, in that game, and so North Carolina was shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was that result as the Wolfpack continued to get better under Will Wade. SMU beat a ranked Louisville team by 10. Miami of Ohio is 26-0. They win at UMass 86-77. Ohio State beat number 24 Wisconsin 86-69. Yeah, Miami of Ohio guys we were talking during the break. They're only 49 in the net, so it makes you nervous.
49, Philip.
49 in the net. They're like right on that bubble.
I thought they were 60s.
They must have jumped. They must have jumped up.
Where's St. Louis in the net? Because they got beat last night.
They lost
out of the A10. Yeah. They're ranked.
They are 22nd.
22nd. Okay, so they're probably good. They lost to Rhode Island last night. That was only their second loss, but I think the Billikens did play. The A10's a better league.
I would say the A10 usually gets 2 teams.
Yeah, they also played some legit out-of-conference games. Like, they played a lot of teams out of the West Coast, Santa Clara, Loyola Marymount, San Francisco. They played Stanford. So, yeah, they played a much tougher out-of-conference.
So if Miami of Ohio, let's say they drop another game, or a game, because they're still unbeaten.
Yeah.
Let's say they drop a game and lose in the tournament. They're very much going to be on the bubble, which is sad. They're
on the bubble now.
Yeah, so they could be 29-2 and not make the tournament, which I think is ridiculous.
I think they could go undefeated the rest of the way, go all the way to the conference championship and lose in the conference championship. I think they still might miss it.
That would be disgusting.
Like at 35-1 or whatever it would be.
If that happens, I'm not watching the tournament. I'm gonna say.
Miami. At that point, you deserve to get in. It was one game all year. It's a conference tournament.
If you lose in the conference championship, I don't even care if your net's 150.
Yeah,
I think you deserve to get in, but they'll probably bump them for like 500 Texas or something. I don't even know. Who would
garbage SEC school?
Just because that's what's happened in college sports. By the way, one of those other teams that was ranked that did put a hurting on a team was Michigan State. They hammered UCLA 82-59. And Mick Cronin, not only did he basically eject one of his own players.
He threw his butt out of the game.
He threw his own player out, and then he had a weird media exchange after the game. Do we have that ready to go?
We do. I do want to put context. Yes. His player picked up a flagrant 1 foul, and he deemed that it should have been a flagrant 2, so he threw the kid out. That's what happened. It was interesting. But here's what he said after the game.
What was your thought in the student section chanting Booker's name?
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
Did you like?
You should take it.
The preparation of the.
Do you really think I care about the other?
No, I don't. I don't think you care about the other.
Are you raising your voice at me?
No, I'm just.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you are. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
All right.
He's always been a jerk.
I know. He's just grumpy.
Especially this season. He started the year complaining about having an 11:30 East Coast time game when his game was in Seattle, so they're 3 hours behind.
Yeah,
that was a bit start. That's how he started the year, with him being on this tangent. But I feel like he's had an incident after every UCLA loss.
Was he a jerk when he came here when he was at Cincinnati? Because I have a friend who is I'm not going to throw his name under the bus, but somebody that you are also friends with, Steven, that said he remembers when Mick used to come here and he always thought he was a total jerk.
Yes, he definitely had that persona. Okay. Now he did not act like this, but there was a game ECU beat them under Joe Dooley where ECU was, I think it was Dooley's first year. ECU was not good at all. In fact, they were awful. But they beat him, and instead of crediting ECU after the game, he just talked about how he told his team all week they needed to be ready, and they didn't listen to him. So he went on a 3-minute rant about that. So it was entertaining. That was back when we used to actually get the opposing coaches.
Yeah.
Kelvin Sampson, Mick Cronin, Greg Marshall in that era of the American was pretty sick, honestly. But also the UConn coach.
Kevin Ollie.
Yep, Kevin Ollie, and we got, what's his name for at least 2 years in the American?
Danny Hurley.
Yep, Danny Hurley. So Yeah, Cronin, he came off that way, but he never had an incident like this. But my thing is, we were talking pre-show, like, it is a silly question.
It was a bad question.
Bad question. But why, like, did he, like, I didn't think the guy raised his voice. I think he was just trying to get his point across. Like
I think Mick Cronin was rage baiting him.
Yeah.
I think he was just trying to make him and just as embarrass him as any way as possible. Because, I mean, it was a bad question, but it was not that bad of a question where it warranted Cronin interrupting the next question to go back to yelling at the guy and then baiting him into, I guess, raising his voice. I don't know. It's just he's been a total jerk all season, and UCLA is probably going to end up making the tournament. So it'll be interesting to see what they do from in the tournament, and I guess in the Big Ten tournament as well.
I just felt like, like you said, he interrupted the next guy's question to go back at the guy, and I think the guy kind of got defensive a little bit. So I mean, his voice went up a smidge, but it was like that. Hey, I've got to defend myself. He wasn't like you.
Yeah, he wasn't yelling at him. Like the whole did you just raise your voice at me? Like he's above that guy, like talking to him.
He ain't above anybody. He's only 5'5".
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That's kind of disgusting behavior. But I think again, it's why the reason he's mad is because they lost to Michigan by 30,
and they just got destroyed by Michigan.
Yeah, they lost to Michigan State by 27. So I mean or 23. So ultimately, that's where he's taking his frustration out. But yeah, Mick Cronin, I know Cincinnati fans don't like him at all. And there's been even talk of maybe him going back to Cincinnati, though.
Really?
Just reading their message board because they're not happy with Wes Miller.
He'll probably get canned.
So,
I mean, the thing is with LA right now is, like, he has good years and he has bad years. And, like, does UCLA still view themselves as a blue blood? If they do, what he's doing is not acceptable. If they're fine being Wisconsin, where it's like, hey, man, you're an 8, you're a 9. Oh, okay, cool, you make the Final Four. Then fine, but you got to think he had the year with Lonzo. They lost in the Elite 8 to Kentucky.
Sweet 16.
Or Sweet 16, thank you, to Kentucky. Yeah, because Kentucky lost in the Elite 8 to Carolina. They were a 3 seed that year. Okay. There was the year after they went first 4 to Final Four with Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez and the big kid, 34, can't remember his name. And they were like a 2 or 3 seed that year, made a decent run. Like, they're decent, but it's just UCLA standards.
I think UCLA has taken a backseat as a program, as one of those blue bloods. I think they've been kind of replaced by UConn.
Yeah.
UCLA had I think they made 3 Final Fours in the 2000s, and then they were a shot away from going to the national championship in 2021.
Coming from the first 4.
Yeah, coming from the first 4. I mean, they wouldn't. I don't think they would have beaten Baylor in the national championship, but they still were. I mean, a half court or 35-foot bank shot away from going. And then you're right though. They were a 2 seed at one point, and they lost to Gonzaga again on another buzzer beater. I think was it not another buzzer beater?
It was
from 35 feet.
Yeah.
And then there was another year that I think they lost. Whenever Carolina went to the national championship, they lost to UNC in the tournament that year. I think they were a 4 seed, and it might have been the Sweet 16. But they've had good players. Juzang, Jaquez, those guys were all good players. This year, last year. I don't think they made the tournament last year, but they've definitely taken a back seat as a blue blood. I think they've been replaced by UConn.
Yeah, because when they made it a few years ago, they made the Final Four. Was that the last time they had made it? Was it 2008 when all 4 ones made it?
Yeah.
And they lost to, did they lose to Kansas or Carolina?
They lost to,
they lost to,
no, because the final was Kansas-Memphis.
Okay.
So UNC and
lost
UCLA
to Kansas,
had to have
and
lost.
UCLA lost to Memphis, I think.
Yeah, because Memphis had Derrick Rose and John Calipari.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCLA Final Four appearance 06, 07, 08, 2021.
They made 3 years in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they lost to the Natty one of those years. They lost to Florida one of those years.
06.
06, because 07 Florida beat Ohio State in both football and in basketball.
Crusher.
There is your college basketball ball knowledge right there. James Giglio bringing it.
I want to ask Philip, though, real quick.
Yeah.
How excited is he for the game the Duke game on Saturday?
Oh, man, dude, if Michigan plays like they played the other day, Duke's getting hammered.
I think Duke and Michigan are top 2 in the country right now.
No. Duke.
He's been underselling Duke all year.
Duke Isaiah's been playing better,
He hates
and some other guys have been playing better. I wouldn't go that far.
Do you want me to read your text? And
I was pretty ticked off. I hate him when he's got a big lead because he blows them.
That's fair.
No, man, Duke still. If you stop Cameron Boozer, which I think their bigs can, who's scoring for Duke? Who becomes the guy?
You're right. I think the way Duke will lose in the tournament is Boozer will pick. I was saying this a couple weeks ago. I think just watching them, their only offense when he's not on the floor is pretty much just let Isaiah Evans just shoot.
Yeah.
And so I think if there's a game in the tournament where they're playing like a Texas Tech in the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, and Boozer picks up 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes and he has to sit.
Yeah.
I think that could be the way they lose or how they lose.
They can shoot the lights out. They've got to get like if Caleb, Isaiah, Emmanuel, all those guys are just nailing threes, they can get out of that. But they're not. Those guys can do it, but it's not like they do it on the regular. Also, you don't want to be the team that's like, well, our best player's out, so we're just going to rely on a 3-point contest to win. Like, no, Duke is not the second best team in the country, and when he gets shut down because Michigan's bigs really are that good and they can double team him and get him in foul trouble on Saturday, give me Michigan by 12.
Oh, my God.
All right. There's Phil's prediction for Duke, Michigan. We got to get a break in. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up after this.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today.
Everything you need to know in the world of ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here. We only got about a minute and a half left. Quick Olympic update. We had a comment from, see if I can find our YouTube page here. I got too many pages open.
While you're looking at it, the Czechs just took a 3-2 lead on Canada in the elimination rounds with 7 minutes to play.
Goal.
And if the Canada loses, they're done.
They're out.
I guess I exited out of YouTube. No, here it is. Yeah, somebody said that Sidney Crosby got hurt.
Yeah, Crosby just left. So you still, I mean, that's bad, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's a star player for them, but I mean, he's playing on the third line. He's an older guy. Also, you dress an extra winger and an extra defenseman. So you actually dress 20 skaters. So it's not like it's actually messing up their lines. And I can't even remember who their 11th or their 13th winger was. It was somebody like legit. It was like, oh yeah, that guy's the 13th winger. It's like an NHL All-Star.
So we'll see. How much time's left again?
7-11,
Wow.
7-10, 7-9.
And U.S. plays Sweden a little after 3. Sweden, though, sneaky good team. So U.S. has got to play well.
Yeah.
To win, right?
Oh yeah, they 100% got to play well. If they're not on their A game, they'll get beat. There's a lot of good teams out there. They're just, the Czechs are solid. They got the top line guys to do it. So does Finland. So does Sweden, but just not to the depth of Canada or the United States. But as we know, anything can happen.
Slovakia beat Germany 6-2, and then Switzerland right now leading Finland 2-0 at the end of 1. So there's your Olympic hockey update. If they win today, do you know when they play again? U.S.
I think it'd be Friday. Yeah, because the women's gold medal game is tomorrow, so I think they'd play Friday.
All right, you watching the Olympics at all, man?
I've been watching some of the curling, and I like curling.
Big curling guy, James Giglio.
And the bobsled.
Big bobsled guy. Curling and bobsled. Tough to beat those in the Winter Olympics. Appreciate your time, James. You can find him on Press Row tonight if you want his autograph.
Yeah.
In Minji's Coliseum, Wichita State, ECU. 7 o'clock tip-off. Also, ECU Northern Illinois, 4 o'clock first pitch to Clark LeClaire. We'll recap those games tomorrow with Mike Mullis and more. We'll see you then Thursday on Hoist the Colors.